So a lot of these traders having record days on this. BYND, Beyond Meat, and this was one of the most shorted stocks in the market recently. So that's a clue that we could be having a squeeze. Plus, whenever we get this kind of a breakdown to new lows, usually we see these things dump before the pump. So that's typical kind of pattern. Below $1.02, another massive key level. Of course, if you're below $1 for too long, you get delisted. So there is some incentive to push the stock above $1 as well. So you kind of get a perfect storm of things happening to cause this kind of a move. So pretty nice looking volume at the bottom too. See that those volume bars really kicking up when this thing dropped below $1. Looks like maybe some accumulation happening. Pushing, I don't know, over 100 million each day here below $1, and then 400 million on this little day. And then when it gets going here, then the volume really kicks in, pushing 1 billion volume on the day, several days in a row. Pretty impressive move. And this is what the dump looks like. So we did have a massive gap. Maximize that. Yeah, pretty big gap up from overnight. Big push the previous day. Massive gap. 100% up. 25% up here in pre-market. Nice blow off top type move. And then the question is, how is this thing going to roll over? Unfortunately, yeah, it had this extra chop at 10:30. That kind of messed me up. But a lot of pros nailing this and having record days on this trade yesterday. So let's take a look at some of those, because that is interesting. I got some bookmark stuff here. Let's see what we got here. So Eternal Envy, number one, he had 7 million on it yesterday. He just shows the PL right there. So 7 million short and long, mostly on short. Looks like he did 6.5 short. But he lost 3.7 on it the day before. So it's not always obvious when the right day is to take the stab at it. It's clear in hindsight every time. But interesting. So he got his money back and made an extra 3.5 million on that. And then take a look here at how much was the risk? Probably 3 million. Probably 3 million. Or maybe more. I don't know. I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he manages his risk. But you'll see that this stock was prime to have a record day on. For people that know what they're doing, I knew it was a good A+ setup, but I screwed it up still because of that extra chop. And so Steven Ducks here did 7 million on it too. So here's his trade. He shows the chart. Nice guy. So you can see that he started adding in after the open, and he averaged into that bounce. Now my trade was, I was getting in pre-market, covered the dip. I thought it would just keep rolling over, but it bounced, kind of chopped me up a little bit. So I was still green on it, but really it should be record day type trade. Anyways, Ducks hit this dip right here, averaged up, and it looks like after this little clear out happened, he spotted that and loaded his size on right there. So probably what's happening here is he's thinking, well, I'm going to start in here, and then if it goes lower, I gotta add lower. If it goes up, bounces some, I add into the bounce and do that kind of thing. So he's hitting this 1030 bounce really nicely, and then the fade happens. So beautiful fade. He hits that dip really hard, covers a lot of that, reshorts the bounce, adds into this breakdown over here, and then covers this dip. And then it looks like he's reshorting the bounce again over here, right around, I don't know, 230-ish. Nails the top right there somehow. Maybe looking at a trend break kind of thing. And then covers the dips here into the afternoon. So pretty much milked it as much as you possibly can milk the stock for $7 million. So pretty amazing. And then Eternal Envy asked him, did you lose 3.7 on it or more the day before? And he says, no. First trade on it today. So sick numbers. I can't even begin to understand the type of emotions tied with that kind of risk. Much props. Yeah, and these guys have been doing this for a while. So they've got millions and millions of dollars, So it's not like they're going all in on these trades. This is just, it's a high quality setup. So they're willing to risk $1 million, $2 million, a few $1,000,000, Probably Ducks has made $50 million, something like that. Maybe 100. I don't know what he's made. But Stephen Ducks is up on the Kinfo leaderboards. He's been on the top leaderboards for verified traders, third-party verified. And he stopped uploading his trades for several years, I believe. So he's still up there on the leaderboards without even uploading for several years. So actually legit trader. The short bear, another one. This guy's legit as well. This guy is a short seller typically, but looks like he bought the dip on it. And he's hitting those dips. So you can see where Ducks was covering. Well, how do these guys know where to cover? Well, this guy knows where to cover too. He's typically a short seller, but instead of shorting it, looks like he didn't want to do the short for some reason. He bought the dip. So bought the dip, sold it, bought the dip, sold it again. This second trade here this is maybe a 20, 25, 30% bounce that he captured. So decent trade there, really nice. And you can see, you can kind of get an idea of the size he's trading just by looking at these triangles, because these triangles have a little black border, like a 1 or 2 pixel border on them, and you can just see that these things are stacked because it just turns the chart black in certain patchy spots. So that's how many executions are going through right here. You can just see blobs of black in there all over the place, and then especially over here where he's selling the bulk of it, there's a blob of black right there. So those are just stacked triangles because he's trading so big. Just that many executions going through. So yeah, this guy's legit. Short bear's the man. Yeah, he's insanely good. Jack Kellogg, another one. So Jack did 3.3 almost on it. This guy's also legit. He said this is his biggest short trade ever. on BYND. And so Jack was hitting it also kind of like ducks, because he started after the open, taking a little bit, but then in that 1030 move, that's where he got his size on. So he added there into that move, maybe risking pre-market highs or something. I don't know what these guys are risking, but adding into that 1030 bounce really nicely. And then after this crack right here, back to the fours. So he's in at sevens. It's back to the fours, and he's adding more. And then it dumps some more, and then he takes all of it out into this dump right here. So pretty incredible trade. Out at $3 from 7. Added a bunch here. See, this kind of ad is a free ad because you're not really taking risk on to get this ad. You're risking unrealized gains, maybe, but you could be risking break even on this whole trade after this ad right here. And this is a chance to add a bunch more size on. And this had a nice follow through move. So pretty incredible move there. And it's almost like he's looking for leg 2. Like, where's the next leg down? It didn't quite do that. It did give a little leg. So see, this first move is sort of leg 1. A lot of times you get leg 2. So it's maybe like a half of a leg 2, but still, regardless, that's like insane. Absolutely nuts. So 3.2 on that. Pretty incredible. This guy says no dip buy. He says, of course I bought the dip. So he may have even bought the dip here like Ducks did, or Short Bear. And then sold that 30% bounce right there too. So I remember Lance saying something about if you're going to buy the dip, make sure you buy enough that you make the bottom. I guess that's the advantage of small or big size. Yeah, who knows? I don't know if these guys are, I don't know if they're pushing it around like that. But clearly they're on the same kind of war path. And if you got $1 billion trading on the day, these guys they got maybe 10 million each, let's say, into the stock. So 30 million bucks, 40 million bucks, 50 million, something like that between all of them combined. And the thing's trading $1 billion on the day. So it's really kind of small size compared to the overall picture. So anyways, that's BYND. One of the biggest opportunities this year. And there's been a bunch of them, but yeah, this is one of the super, super nice ones. Super inspiring to see that.